Okay, lunchtime, I'm wearing my dusking. That means I've bought a dress and I don't have too much time. So I won't be bothering you for too long. So hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my very small place on the internet where I talk about my knitting life and my knitting adventures and my knitting projects. My name is Isabelle, I am in France, in Normandy, and today it's going to be a regular episode about my knitting life, the regular way you see everywhere else on the internet. I'm going to talk about one finished object, my work in progress, and if I have a bit more time at the end, maybe some life updates, or maybe not. So if that sounds good to you, please stay tuned. Okay, first, what am I wearing? I am wearing my dusking by Kaomi Berging that I knit at the end of 2023 and I think I finished it in January 2024. The skin is made with silk mohair, lace silk mohair, and I made it with this dusky pink type of color with mohair that I bought last summer in Poitou in the Ferme de la Croche-Cœur. I will leave all the details down below as usual. And dusking, you start with 4 strands and gradually you finish with only 1 strand of lace mohair, and Peluche is asking to come home. So I'll be back in a very short moment. She's home. So what I was saying is that I'm wearing dusking and you go from 4 strands of lace silk mohair with bigger needles to 1 strand of silk mohair at the bottom of the sleeves and at the bottom of the sweater, and you go from the 4 to 1 strand going through 3 and 2 strands of mohair. I have a bit of difficulty with that sweater only at one point. It was on the sleeves with 1 strand of silk mohair and big needles, 5mm needles, if I recall correctly. I'll write it down here on the screen if it's not the right number. But 1 strand of silk mohair and big needles. And I really fought with the bottom of the sleeves, not the bottom of the sweater, because you had a larger number of stitches and I was using my needle on a cable and I had no ladder. But with my sleeves on a smaller circumference, I was having ladders, whether I was doing the magic loop, which I don't like much, or using DPNs and stuff like that. Several of you have recommended me methods. One method is to really pull tight on the second stitch on the new needle when you go around. So that's one method. The other method, I will try to retrieve it. It was a video that someone recommended to me. That is, once you've knit 1 needle, you pass a couple needles on the new one so that the new stitches are knit with the new needle, but you don't tighten or loosen the stitches that were knit previously, creating ladders. It works perfectly, and I'm using that method to knitting socks on DPNs. So thank you. I could finish the sweater, and I haven't been wearing it up to now. I may take it out once I've finished talking about it because it's a little warm today. I haven't been wearing it because I was not able to have anything in my wardrobe I was happy with showing at the bottom of the sweater. So I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna show you what I bought. Okay, so what did I buy? I bought a linen dress, a non-perfect linen dress that has no sleeves, that has just straps here, wider straps here. You may see it if I decide I take the dusking off because I'm too warm. And you see, when I wear the dusking, there is no such limit as I used to have with darker clothes it's kind of seamless between the not see-through to the see-through part, and this not perfect linen dress is in dusky pink or some kind of this colorway. I write it down below, but anyway, it's a very light and blushed pink, which I'm not used to wearing pink, you know that, but I really love that. And of course I have bracelets from the Pyrenees, so I have a few pieces in pink, but not that much. And as it's quite warm, I think I'm gonna stop here wearing the dusking and I'm gonna be removing it. Okay, so you see the dress with a plain t-shirt, and it's a plain white t-shirt, and it's a very long dress. I would not have bought that dress if it was not of, or if it were not for the dusking, because if I can move a bit, you can see it has a very low back, and what I was in need was of a garment that would not show too much underneath the sheerest parts of the sweater, and something also that would allow the little keyhole in the back to be showing up, showing just my skin or something, because I was not happy with a top or something in the top, a dress. I was mostly going for a dress, but I was not happy with a dress that would be covering the keyhole and showing the garment under and not my own skin. So I am very happy. This is my one non-perfect linen purchase for the season. I usually try to buy one piece per season, no more. I love them. They are a Lithuanian company, woman company, and I've been buying from them for several years now. Maybe before pandemic, at least it was when they only had an Etsy shop. And I really love the quality of their garment. The linen is not wearing out. I have several pieces in the heavy linen, and this is their regular linen. And I'm very, very happy with the way these pieces have worn out, or have not worn out. I've been aging very, very, very gracefully. I've always wear them when I can. Okay, so next, one finished object that you haven't seen coming. I was talking with Rosemary on Instagram, and she had knit a beret for her granddaughter. And I told her, and I'm just recalling, I haven't brought my own beret collection here, so I will have to interrupt and go get it. So I told her I wear berets all year round, and mostly during the winter time. The regular traditional French berets you can find. There is a company, I also will link it down below. There are several, but there is that one company where I buy my berets from, and I've started to buy them in the south of France, where they are more traditional, I think. And I've started to buy them in the Pyrenees. There is a shop that has these berets, and that used to have these berets over 20 years ago, when you could not find them easily otherwise. So I would buy, as I'm doing with non-perfect linen now, I would buy a beret per summer when I was visiting, and now I have a rather large collection of colors that can fit about every outfit in my wardrobe. So I was saying that to Rosemary, and I was saying, I've never knit a beret. I need to knit one. And it kind of stuck into my mind, because now it's blocked. You see, you recall last video I showed the tiny pom-pom hat that I made with the leftover from the Lena West yarn that they gave me to knit a sweater, and I should go there at the end of May, no, the beginning, mid-June, because there are the celebrations here in Normandy. So end of May and beginning of June is going to be horrible for traffic. So I think we've said that I will go mid-June, so that they can take pictures of the sweater, and this is a free pattern, so I will also bring the little pom-pom hat by Teti Lutzak that I've made and that is now washed and blocked. And I was thinking I just have enough for a beret, so I should look into knitting the rest of this yarn, knitting a beret. Okay, this was just bubbling at the top of my head, and we were talking with Rosemary, and she had knit the Bisbis Beret by Sari Nordland for her granddaughter, and I said, oh, okay, it's a perfect pattern. And I went to bed, and next morning, guess what? The pattern was in my Ravelry library. I was so mesmerized, and I was so happy. So I casted it on, and I knit it in a day, in one day. And what I liked about this beret, and maybe all the other ones have the same type of increases and decreases, I like the fact that the increases here, because you start at the very tip here and you make the little I-cord for little top of the beret, are rounded, and I like that. And so I knit it in a day. I finished it at 1 o'clock at night, I think. And the difference from the pattern, but she says you can do that, is that she calls for an I-cord, and she said you can also make a 1x1 rib if you prefer. I was afraid that an I-cord would be a little too tight, because when I was finishing up or casting off some of Stephen West's shawls that call for I-cord cast off or bind off, I'm always fighting with myself to make the I-cord stretchy enough to accommodate for the whole length of the shawl. And I was afraid it would make a border that would be too tight for the beret. But anyway, I will probably knit another one, and I will try with the I-cord bind off. So it's blocked, it's not blocked, it's washed. And I will show you how I wear my berets. I wear them that way, with the fold in the back and snug on my head on the top. I don't wear them on the side the way you see many French people do, or you imagine many French people doing. I wear my berets that way, and I'm gonna stop here so that I can go get my wool beret collection. Okay, here it is. Am I not kidding? I started to buy, I think it was the red one. That is one of the most traditional ones, and these are beret by a company that is called Loller. It's one of the traditional beret company you can find in France, and this is felted wool. So I think the first one I bought was the red one. And you see, this is how I wear it. Tucked in the back, there is the official little mark that says it's their beret, and that way. So that's one of the reasons you don't see me knitting that many hats. It's because during the winter time I wear berets. If it rains, no problem, the beret is gonna keep you covered. You won't get too much water onto your head. Your head is gonna stay dry, and that's it. So this is the first one I got, I think. Then quite quickly, as I'm mostly wearing blue, I got a dark blue one. You still have hair somewhere, or cat hair. And then progressively, between my sons and myself, I got all of these ones. The orange one is not a Loller one. It's the one that my son, my eldest son, got me. All the other ones are. So there is a yellow, a mustardy yellow, a brown, a very light blue that I love. Very light blue that I love, a pink, and a beige. And now I will have, so as a matter of fact, I don't think I've been ever wearing it that well. The curry mustardy one, yes, but not that one. I thought I bought it when I got the yarn, the mohair yarn, the yellow mohair yarn, thinking it would go together. So that's true, it goes together, but I think it doesn't suit me that much. So anyway, you have my beret collection and my beret love. And so I haven't been buying them in the past few years because I now have enough and they don't wear out at all, even though I take no real precaution with them. When I'm at my work, I shovel them into my bag and I take them when I leave. So Ramses is a very talkative cat, and I'm so surprised you haven't heard him that much thus far. Anyway, my beret, and when I was talking about the beret with my youngest son, he said, "Oh yeah, a beret, that's a very good idea." So I have a bit of the orange yarn from Fontier that I bought to knit him a hat at least 2 years ago, and he wears that hat every day, almost every day. And now he's shaved his head again. He goes through these phases where he shaves his head, and he says, "I'm quite cold, so yeah, please knit me a beret." And I will knit a beret with the rest of the orange yarn and mohair that I have. And I will probably use some kind of a dark purple yarn that I found in what my mother gave me when she gave me her stash. There are a few. I've got rid of a lot of things that were not of my interest, not of good quality and everything. But I kept that one, and dark purple and orange, he liked the combination, so good. So I used the fingering weight from Lena West, single stranded, for the tiny pom-pom hat and for the sweater, for the Oatfield sweater. I used it double stranded, so you see. So it's single stranded, and I paired it with one strand of the silk mohair from La Ferme de la Croche-Cœur in this dusky pink that I had left. So I will have to check how many grams. It did not take much of the yarn and of the silk mohair. And you see how the pink mohair, even though when you look at it like that, it doesn't show much. But when you look at next to the beret, that to the hat that is just pure palm fingering Lena West yarn, you see the influence of the pink mohair. And when you look at the pure pink mohair, you see the influence of the Lena West palm fingering yarn. So I really love that little beret. I will be making more, at least one for my son and most probably more for myself. And I'm taking this opportunity to say that I just have maybe 1 meter, 3 feet of yarn left so they gave me 8 balls. I used all of the 6 balls, and I'm going to give them back two of the balls if they want it, and if they don't want it, and if they say I can keep them, I will make other things. And you see, it's one way to finishing up with small accessories to finishing up your leftovers. And these could be entries for my Machi knit along that I've labeled Machi KAL for knit along. I'll make a video maybe next week about how it's going, because there are not many of you who have entered finished objects or projects in the Ravelry group or under the videos and everything. So I will make a reminder of this knit along next time, and I will browse through the projects that have already been entered because it's really perfect. One person said that she made, I think it's a shawl or a scarf, with two leftovers from two different sweaters so that she could wear them with both sweaters. And I thought that's an excellent idea. So I can wear my beret with my dusking, and I can wear it also with the old field. So that's a perfect example for how to use your leftovers in ways that you are going to make accessories that you are going to be wearing. Okay, I should get going because I'm hungry and I have other things to be doing. Next is a half-finished object. You may recall that I'm knitting socks for my sons and that the first pair I made was really too big for my eldest son. So they are going to be going to my youngest son. And I'm using Lang yarn, so Yawool yarn and Yawool twin for the self-changing color one. So the second color combination was pink and green. So it was supposed to be for my youngest son, but now it's going to be for my eldest son. That I made with the measurement that he gave me when he tried on the first one. I'm afraid it's going to be a bit too small because it was supposed to finish at the beginning of the toe decrease, and I'm afraid it's just a bit too small. It's just a bit too small. But I will have him try. I will have him try it on. And if it's a bit too small, that's not a problem. I unravel the tip of the toe and I will knit it again, make a few more rounds in the green colorway and finish with the pink. I'm so very happy that they love these very bright pop of colors. I've always used some of bright colored clothes for them, pink and orange and stuff like that. And they have still carried on that type of thing. So one pop in a more classical colorway. So I'm doing the I'm So Basic socks by Summerly, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's a cuff down, heel, flap and gusset. I really love these decreases. Maybe I should show them like that to you. I really like these decreases with slip stitch heel. And I'm using 64 stitches to knit a smaller sock. And I've been using 2x2 ribbing when here I was using 2x1 ribbing. I did some twisted rib at the beginning of the sock and just plain knitting stockinette at the tip with a plain stockinette for the under the sole or the bottom of the sock. So I will have my eldest try it on. I will not be knitting on the socks as long as he's not been trying them on. You know, if I pull them out, I haven't blocked them. If I pull a bit on them, I think it's gonna be okay. But I want him to be trying it on. I tried it on. It's just fine for me, but my shoe size and my feet are much smaller than theirs. So we'll see. He'll try that one on, and if it's okay, I will knit the second one and the other pair for my second son because their feet are quite similar. And if it's a bit too small, I will add a few more rows here. I will unravel the top and I will add a few more rows. So that is quite easy now that I've understood how the pattern goes on. And for the 3 pairs, I won't be very adventurous. Now that I understand this pattern, I will continue with it. And I will try other sock constructions and heel constructions and toe up and stuff like that later on, once I'm more familiar with all the dimensions I need to knit for them. And my youngest son has requested shorties already, so I will be doing that at some point. Okay, next and last, my work in progress, Yara. And one of you said, "Oh, you've been so productive. You made a beret, you made a hat, the socks, and everything." Yes. Why did I make all that? First, we had several holidays in France. 1st of May, it's Labor Day. 8th of May, it's the end of the war celebration. And the next day, there was another holiday, a religious holiday. So that was on a Wednesday and a Thursday. And many people, including me, took Friday off. So that was a 5-day weekend. And next weekend, the Monday, is also a holiday. The month of May in France, many people don't work that much. Lots of traffic jams towards and back from between Paris and Normandy and Brittany, because for short vacation like that, most Parisians go to Normandy or Brittany, and lots of traffic jams and everything. But anyway, I was very productive because one, I had time, and two, I was procrastinating. That means I was knitting on other things because I was afraid of picking up the stitches along the Yara border. So you have it here. You see that I've picked up the stitches. I've knit the first row, and now I need to go back onto knitting the bubbles and all the little colored pops here and everything. So I need to do that. I was knitting on the sock the other day, so last night. So I haven't knit on the shawl, and other than that, and I forgot to show you, I made a mistake at the very beginning of the shawl, and I saw it. It was very late after I had been knitting several motifs before. I think I slipped my stitches with the yarn in front and not with the yarn in back. So be it. I won't change it. This is gonna be the proof that I made it. It was handmade. And so I picked up the more than 300 stitches on one of the border of the top part, because now it's going to be the bottom part. I'm showing it upside down to you. It's going to be that way. And I was extremely nervous and anxious about picking up these stitches. Of course, 300 stitches, if you want to be quite homogeneous along the way with the right stitch count, it's not like this and you just pick up the stitches and it's going to be okay. It's not. So Ramses is talking. It's not. So I haven't said that Yara is by Natasha Hornby, and she provides a method to pick up the stitches. I have to say, he's on the table now, maybe he's going to come with us. I have to say, I used her method. I won't be talking about. Don't go onto my dusking, please. Oh, your power was on it. I have to say that I used her method that I arranged because I was thinking there's no way that I'm going to be able to pick up the right amount of stitches all along with that method only. So I modified it a bit for myself. I'm not going to be talking about it because I'm not sure that's a method. I haven't looked. I'm not sure it's a method that you can find many other places, or if this is something that she made up, and as it's a pet for pattern, I don't want to give it up. I did unpick and pick again several times. Not the whole section, not the whole length, but I did have to unpick and pick again several times. But I think that now my stitches are quite evenly all along the long border of the shawl, and I can go on and knit on it. What I haven't said is that I'm using Holzgarn yarn, I have two cones of the light and the darker gray, which are, it's in the bag, which are slate gray and silver gray. The white one is the tides from Holzgarn. I've knit the Madeleine sweater by Sumin Kim with it, and the yellow one is just regular super soft and it's gold crest. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks from afar. I like the way it looks close by, much closer. And I haven't blocked it. That was one of my other questions. Should I block it before I pick up the stitches so that the top part is at the required measurements? Because it's not right now. It's about 10% less than what it should be. So I decided not to block it because I'm gonna knit with the same yarn and everything is gonna be blocked at the end, whether it's a bit smaller than what she recommends or whether it's at the correct dimension. It doesn't really matter. It's gonna be a big shawl no matter what. So I now need to be knitting on my Yara. I'm waiting on my son to see my son so that he tries the sock and see if I continue or if I modify it a bit and make it a bit longer. So now I need to cast on. And I know some people would be very envious of me saying, what should I be casting on? Because sometimes you have too many work in progress. And you know, I'm not too comfortable with a lot of work in progress. So I think I'm going to buy the Gallant sweater by Kadri, and I think I'm going to cast on the blue Nutiden. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. I'm not going to be talking about other things because one, I'm hungry, and two, I'm just a bit short on time, but that's not really a problem or an issue anyway. I hope that this video will find you well. I hope you are able to place happy little stitches into your knitting, because if you don't place joy and happiness into your life, it's not gonna come all by itself. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for other people. Thinking of other people, or making little things, little accessories for other people, or little accessories to match your other knitwear, and that will make you happy. So I'm sending out all the very little happy and sparkling little stitches over to you. And thank you very much for being here with me, and I hope I will see you next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top. So I'm doing the I think I'm gonna buy the